David Clark.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And I have to say, it's actually a pleasure to follow that man, the Minister for underfunding in our health system. I mean, he opens the door, doesn't he? After that particular wide-ranging speech, he invites all of the criticism that will follow. 1.7 billion in underfunding, independently verified by Infometrics. The Minister disputes it. He gets up and says, oh, we've put X amount of money into this and we've done this and we've done that. It has not kept up with the demographics. It has not kept up with the funding pressures in the health system. And the Minister knows that. And I can see him looking away. It's an uncomfortable truth. He is earning a reputation as a Minister who is pulling the health system apart. That's why the Doctor magazine has a crack at him. Mrs King is quite right to bring that up. He is underfunding in public health. He is underfunding across the system by $1.7 billion, and the wheels are coming off. And we look down south, where I'm from, and see what's going on down there in terms of our hospital rebuild. In this budget, there is some money allocated to try and speed up the process. At least that's what the documents tell us when we can get hold of them. But the Minister hasn't committed it to any new timeframes. He's still got this project on the never-never. He will not be held accountable to it. He's got rid of the board. He's wiped them out of the way, and now he has to wear all of the criticism that goes with underperformance in that DHB. I haven't mentioned the bowel screening program. I should probably mention that in passing. Labor brought that in. I can't take credit. I wasn't a part of that Labor government. But the last Labor government brought that rollout in. His government stopped it. 10 years on before they get any real progress with it, Mr Speaker. That is an absolute outrage. But the Minister will get up and try and claim some credit because he's done at least something. Unfortunately, the highest cancer rates and incidents of death are in the south. And that is where his bowel screening program is going to be rolled out eventually, but not at the start. Why, we do not know. Let's go back to the case of the hospital rebuild, Mr Speaker. They put some money aside for it. It seems to be on the never-never. The strategic business case was due out in June, 1 month after his commissioners were appointed. Where is it? Where is it? It is still sitting with ministers. We have not even seen the strategic business case, Mr Speaker, for the hospital rebuild. That building should be beginning to be being built before the next election. If the Minister has the courage of his convictions on the issue of rebuilding the hospital, he will commit capital and time frame to getting that rebuild underway before the next election. It is Dunedin's turn, and the Minister and his government have acknowledged that $300 million that should go down south at least is due to Dunedin. It is the last major hospital in New Zealand to have a capital rebuild. But this Minister seems to be sitting on his thumbs year after year. His predecessor, Tony Ryle, was committed to getting a business case to Parliament, he said, to his Cabinet in 2014. He pushed that out to 2015. Minister Coleman, when he arrived, said at the end of 2015 he'd have a business case at Cabinet. 2015, said Minister Coleman. Then it was 2016. Now June 2016 has passed. The detailed timeline for the strategic business case, it's gone by. We haven't seen it. He still hasn't considered it. He hasn't committed to the next stages, and we know he could be getting on with it. The planning group is meeting every 5 weeks. They could get together a little more often. They could meet with the architect. They could move things forward. But he has no appetite for healthcare in this country. That explains the $1.7 billion he has ripped out of the health system. That explains the delay on the hospital rebuild and the Minister's poor commitment to the health of New Zealanders. Every New Zealander should expect to have decent healthcare. That is a fundamental that the Minister does not seem committed to. And these budget documents reveal that as bright as day in black and white, because he is only committing the bare minimum to planning processes that are set to drag out forever and a day.
Mr Chair.
Simon O'Connor. Point of order, the Honourable Annie King.
I seek leave to table 2 documents that are paywall, so not available, from the New Zealand Doctor dated the 6th of July 2016, headed Pro-Care Demands Sit Down with Minister over Funding Fears. The second one, Mr Chair, is also from the New Zealand Doctor, paywall, not available unless you pay for it, dated the 22nd of June 2016, headed to the bedside manner born.
Leave is put for that purpose. Is there any objection? There appears to be none.
Mr Chair.
The Honourable Simon O'Connor. No, sorry. Promotion.